If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. These are not predictions. These are motherfucking spoilers. VShojo is dead. They are closed. They are gone. They are dissolved. Which means the NDAs are about to be dissolved too. Now, do not go to any members of VShojo and ask them to talk about it.
Cat.
They're gonna wait for their lawyers to weigh in. And trust me, with how many girls asked me what they're allowed to talk about, I assure you they should be going to lawyers instead.
Why are they not going?
But I don't know
Okay.
all that, and I'm encouraging them to be very careful. So do not pressure any of them to talk about anything they don't want to do. Okay? It
Yeah,
very
they need
much
to go
depends
to
on the terms of
lawyers.
the NDA. We are going to find out, but this could be absolutely huge. If you think it's crazy now, it's going to get even worse. We are now kicking a fucking dead horse, and I'm here for it. VShojo Gunrun, the CEO of VShojo, put out a message. We're going to read it all. We're going to see the reactions. And Silvervale talk.
It was not reviewed by an attorney.
And we're going to get all this shit. So let's get it. Let's go. VShojo
This
has
was not
failed
reviewed
and
by an
mismanaged
attorney.
the company into the situation you're all witnessing. Yeah, no shit, jackass. So today I am sharing, by the way, I really feel like Gunrun is really, and I want to make this very clear, I really feel like Gunrun has been like paid off by like the VTube mafia to take all the blame himself. Brother, this guy should be crashing out on everybody. Can we crash out on Mao Tendu? Can we crash out on the fucking unlicensed lawyer? Everybody who was a part of VShojo staff sucked ass, at least a lot of them. There was a lot of corrupt individuals. It's fucking insane. So today I'm sharing the difficult news that VShojo is shutting down, and I take full responsibility for the decisions that led us to this point. I've been doing everything I can to fundraise and right the ship these past few months, but despite my efforts, we are in a worse position, and those I care about are now paying the price. Over the past few years, we raised... We? The fuck you mean we? We? You mean your people? Man, shut the fuck up. Y'all ain't do shit. You sat there and you watched. Yeah, fucking right. Man, fucking shove this apology up your ass. Raised around $11 million to pursue a bold, talent-first approach in VTubing. Bitch, no, you didn't. You pursued it, but you sure as fuck didn't get there. Yeah, you walked that way, but you sure as did not get to your destination. Prioritizing creators and community over short-term profits. Bitch. Yeah, that's because that profit's in your pocket yet. It didn't make it the IDF yet. To achieve long-term sustainability, brother, you lasted 72 hours after Ironmouse crashed the fuck out. Our funding went directly to our creators through generous splits. Oh my God. I'm about to punch my monitor. I'm about to punch my monitor. Generous splits. 50-50 deals. Brother, your generous splits were 50-50 deals. 85-15 is the industry standard. Jesus. Debut investments, infrastructure, concerts, events, and staffing, all designed to support them. Yeah. So of that $11 million that you made, I guarantee you less than 0.1% of that went towards any of this shit. Yeah, fucking. Oh, yeah, dude, we did all this. Literally drew a PNG. Jesus, bro, get a fucking grip. Good God, you sound like all these entitled artists on Twitter. Oh, man, I spent all day slaving away drawing these emotes. I'm going to need $200. Literally 5 seconds of effort. We also wanted the talent to write their own IP, or to own their IP, which renews a unique creator-first approach for an agency. Yes, good job. You did one good thing that should be industry standard right now. Congrats. You were better than the fucking blackest company on earth, Niji Sanji. Wow. Well, guys, we finally did it. We didn't kill anybody in our group. We're so good because we're not like the Nazis from World War II. Bitch, just because you're doing shit better than the Nazis doesn't make you good people. Congratulations.
I mean, that
you did what should have been done years ago.
overstatement
Wow,
of a comparison, but still,
hey guys,
I mean,
really
it holds truth.
Sorry,
but
also, did you notice that we're really freaking epic? We only stole $500,000 from charity. We could have stolen 2. Okay, wow, nice one, man. However, despite all our efforts, the business failed to generate the revenue we needed to sustain that model. The business they need to sustain, blowing away millions of dollars at Vegas. And eventually, we ran out of money. They're about to claim bankruptcy.
Yeah, they already have.
No shot. Brother, they're about to try to not pay back anything.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
No way.
Yep.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised. Shy Lily's point. Hold up. What did Shy Lily say? Hold up. Disney acknowledged that some of the money spent by the company was raised in connection with talent activity, which I later learned was intended for a charitable initiative. At the time, we were working hard. Hey, this $500,000 appeared in the checking account. How did we get all that? I don't know, dude. Anyways, let's go burn this shit at Vegas. Let's hit those slots. Yeah, bro. They got $500,000 and didn't even check to see where it was from. Jesus, this is insane. Which later I learned was intended for a charitable initiative. At the time, we were working hard to raise additional investment capital to cover our cost. What cost? What cost?
Mm-hmm.
The fuck? All of the expensive shit a content org needs to do, like renting venues, designing costumes, organizing streamers, it's all done remote by drawing pictures. What the fuck did you spend $11 million on? Oh, bro. Such a fucking Weasley little liar, dude. This Weasley little liar, dude. This Weasley fucking liar, dude. Oh, we have so much to talk about. At the time, we were working hard to raise additional investment capital to cover our costs, and I firmly believe, based on the information available to us, that we would be able to do so and cover all expenses. We were unsuccessful in our fundraising efforts. I made the decision to pursue funding, and I own its consequences. I am deeply sorry to all talent, staff, friends, and community members who believed in our brand. You did not deserve this. Go take this apology and go fuck yourself. I am so happy I commented, Lamau, fuck all y'all, frame one. Weasley little liar, dude. Weasley little fucking liar, dude. Yeah, fucking right. Oh my God.
Yep.
The inauthenticity, you smell bullshit a mile away. We're gonna talk about all this. Let's get into Silvervale's response real quick. Silvervale did a stream yesterday, and we're gonna talk about all this. Here we go. There's a follow-up to this post, as well as Legal Mindset response. Great. What'd he say? TLDR,
Yeah,
they
Legal
don't secure a
Mindset.
loan on their unprofitable business and embezzled $500,000. They're fucked, guys. They're fucked.
They did
They're
more
fucked.
just embezzling
Jesus Christ, we had no
$500,000.
idea how bad it was. During the Hogwarts Legacy controversy, Superman had to call with a gun run, someone she admired, so she was told she was a...
The question is, did they get away with it yet or not yet?
No, so here's the thing. By claiming bankruptcy, they have gone away with it essentially. Because by claiming bankruptcy, the company does not have the money to do anything else that any lawsuits would claim against them. They are no longer liable for any of that because now they have filed to the IRS. We have no money. Any and all outstanding payments are now voided because we don't have the money. So now everything is going to be liquidated. They have physical value and such and various things, right? Because everything has value. So now the IRS is going to liquidate all their stuff. The banks are going to seize any and all stuff. The any physical property that they have, like actual realty and such, like any offices and such, is going to be seized by the banks. So now the banks are going to own it. The IRS is going to liquidate any and all assets and seize it all and freeze it. Nobody's getting the money. Nobody is getting any money. The only money that is going to be that anyone's going to get is the IRS. If the foundation, the Immune Deficiency Foundation, gets any money, the most that they are going to get, and this is probably by all means of actual like absolute optimism, is 100,000.
So
But in
yes,
reality, they probably only get 50,000
so
of the
yes,
512,000.
they did get away with it.
Yes.
That's the short end of it. Okay.
Yeah, that's the short end is they got away with it. And now, because they filed bankruptcy, because they've disbanded everything that the company did can still be held liable in court and charged to someone. But now there has to be a whole different set of lawsuits, and you have to individually file lawsuits to say Gun Run or Mountain Dew or any of the other people. Because now there is not a liable lawsuit to the company because the company now does not exist. However, in court, the past actions while the company existed can be held against people in court, but only to the individual people that is on trial. If it remained a company, did not disband, did not file bankruptcy, then everyone involved in the company, it didn't matter who it was, would be able to be brought in and tried. You wouldn't have to try and find probable cause of collusion with various people that are on trial currently. But now, say they file a lawsuit against Gun Run, they pull him into trial. Most likely he will be pulled into federal court. Most anyone else, unless there is probable cause, will just be pulled into the state of California courts, the court of the state of California. Which at the same time, the state of California can still, while the federal court is going after Gun Run, can also still go after Gun Run. So you can have a double whammy of federal court and state court. If the state of California decides to go after Gun Run while he's on trial. However, during the trial of Gun Run, unless there is probable cause of other people that colluded with him or that he colluded with, they cannot be brought into trial unless there is a separate lawsuit from any of the members, Zentrea, Fruit, any of them, against those specific people.
Anyway.
Disappointment and harmful to the brand, and that her harassment was an inconvenience to other talents. Oh my God. She was told not to speak with them and was suspended from streaming. Oh my God. When they left, they were discredited to staff and painted as greedy for asking for money. Neanders backed this up on stream. I told your ass they got NDA'd. Hey guys, these aren't predictions, they're spoilers. These aren't predictions, they're spoilers. I told you all when they had to leave, they were NDA'd and badmouthed from the staff to the girls, and that's why they ceased communication. These are not predictions, guys. These are fucking spoilers. Welcome to youtube.com/TechDome. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell for all notifications. So many horrible things just to avoid the truth that they were stealing from us. VShojo announced Silver Veil's and Vei's departures together to make it seem as a joint decision and blocked Neanders from leaving at the same time. They held her hostage. Yep. Silver later found out she was slandered to artists, companies, and business partners she had worked through via VShojo. Her first VShojo contract had no exit clause. I made more money in the first few months of Mythic than my entire time at VShojo. And guess who got her in that? Twitch chat, I would like you all to take a moment to acknowledge me. I would just like you all to take one moment to simply acknowledge me. Is what it is. They call me VTuber Jesus. They do. They do. They call me VTuber Jesus. It is what it is. Yep. It is what it is. The threat of them suing me was very real, and it haunted me for a very long time. Even before it was announced that I was leaving, I had just mentioned my Discord, just like casually, that I was stressed and needed to cancel the stream, because they contacted my lawyer because of that and threatened to sue me if I hinted that I was leaving or unhappy at all. Just because I said I was stressed. So imagine if I said anything else. They were watching us like a hawk. I think they were watching all of us. On IP rights, of course we keep our IPs. We started with them. I am still timestamping and summarizing her stream. We'll post my notes later. I want to make sure that you all know everything that I have said over the past year and a half has been proven demonstrably correct. And I want you to see how many people on Twitter are telling me that I'm making up lies. Guys, the internet makes it so hard for me to tell the truth. Once again, the chip on my shoulder is the size of a goddamn boulder. These things that I say, they are not predictions, they are spoilers. These things that I say that are called nothing burgers are tactical fucking nukes. Guys, are we paying attention now? They wanted you to be bad. They wanted you to be wrong so bad it's crazy. I know. They say, oh, Tectone doesn't know this. Tectone doesn't know that. Listen, guys, you dumb fucks. These people on the internet have to act like we don't talk online to avoid y'all retards who make it so hard in the community to actually work with people who care. Guys, whether you love me or hate me, there's one thing that you cannot deny. The number one thing I do in my entire career is help creators first. Every single opportunity I have, I say, fuck the corporations. I will help the creators every single fucking time. And I need these fucking pencil neck dumbasses to stop making my life so fucking hard so I can help the people who need the fucking help and who allow me to speak for those who can't. I'm the fucking voice of the motherfucking voiceless. Stop making my life so fucking hard just because I'm bald. Jesus, bro. Listen the fuck up. Holy shit. Let's get into this.
I was put into a call with Gunn, the CEO of the company, like someone that I admired and I looked up to and I wanted to please, someone that I thought was the coolest person ever.
I'm gonna be honest. Silver should have realized it. You should have realized it. A shadow company from, I'm pretty sure that's everywhere. It's not just in Japan, but right?
What, shadow companies?
Yeah. I was saying
Yeah,
it's not just
shadow
in
companies
Japan.
are everywhere.
But anyway, going back to my point. But no offense to anyone, but again, Soda should have realized it.
Yeah, but at the same time, here's the thing that on Tectone's point, a lot of people that are chronically online or online most of the times and such are to no help to themselves, very naive. And
Kind
so
of I guess you can say the first mistake ever.
well, I mean, for a lot of people, it's a little hard to help not be naive and such because, there's, a lot of people on the internet want to be idealistic and such and have, be, ideologues and such. And in ideology, there is being naive, naivety, being naive and such. Not all the time, but, wanting to kind of see the good in other stuff and everything there, with that comes being naive.
I'm the opposite.
With not being naive, you kind of have to not be naive. You kind of have to have a healthy dose of cynicism.
But that's what I was saying. Oh,
yeah, no, I mean,
as I was saying, no, is I wouldn't say like a beginner trap, but it's just that. Oh no, maybe is what I get for finding, or I guess you can say thanks to VR chat in some ways.
Yeah,
but even I guess from last year, I still kind of run into problems and stuff like that, and people being, I guess, in some ways extra sensitive to some things, and when things are too good to be true.
Yeah. That's and the only way to combat that, other than just not being chronically online, sorry, is to have a healthy dose of cynicism. But there are the a selection of problems that come with having a healthy dose of cynicism, and that's kind of where you have Tectone sitting. With a healthy dose of cynicism, you kind of see the truth for things and all, and people don't like you doing that. People would rather live in a dreamland than, people would rather live in the Matrix than know that they are in the Matrix, right?
Mm.
And so once you are cynical enough to realize, oh, we're in the Matrix, people hate you for it.
Yeah. Anyway.
Because you see through everyone's bullcrap.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just wanting to keep it short because limited on time now.
Yeah.
And he told me that I was a damage to the brand.
Jesus.
That I was a disappointment.
Because this is what VTuber corporations do. Everybody knows that there is nothing wrong with playing Hogwarts Legacy. Jesus Christ. Oh, you played a Harry Potter game on stream. Oh, dude. You're a burden on the brand. Suck my dick. Oh, bro, you watch Rurouni Kenshin. You're a damage to the brand. Gun Run, go fuck yourself.
I was told that me being harassed
Legit, Gun Run is such a piece of shit.
was an inconvenience to the other talents and not to...
It was an entire organization taking advantage of these women who had no idea what the fuck they were doing because they were new to the industry. This shit is pathetic.
Talk to them. Optics were more important than their own talent's well-being.
Again, right down in sinker, to be honest, if you look at it that way.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And I was suspended from streaming.
Hey, V-Shoujo, go woke, go broke. Yep. Go woke, go broke. Yeah. Have fun appealing to the woke mob who say, well, you may be playing a video game, but do you know what that video game represents? What that video game represents goes against my ideology, and I'm gonna need you to stop playing this because it goes against my politics. Did you hear what J.K. Rowling said?
Ideology, right there.
Shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ.
Ideology.
Jesus. What a
said
joke.
It wasn't a suspension because
What
they
a
weren't
joke.
that kind of agency. But what else do you call being told not to stream?
Silvervale's model is fucking ridiculous. Jesus Christ. Let's watch the next clip.
But whenever anyone was like, oh, I love Shoujo so much. It's so cool that they get to keep their IP. Bitch, we own our IP.
Yep.
We started with our IP.
Yep.
Of course we get to own it.
Yep.
It's ours.
Yep.
Why are you celebrating that?
Yep.
Like, oh, bad things happen, but they get to keep what they own.
Yep.
Like, fucking duh.
True.
Yes, obviously. And everyone's like, oh my god, I love Shoujo. I want to sniff their parts because they get to keep their IP.
No, dude, V-Shoujo is so lucky that Niji Sanji exists. Because everybody thought they knew the bad guy, but meanwhile, they were the fucking bad guy beneath the surface. They were literally using Niji Sanji's bad PR to appear like they were the good guys. Hey guys, I'm about to blow your mind. There is no good guys in the VTuber Corporation. There doesn't always have to be a good guy. Just because your competition looks so shit, that does not make you the good guys. They're all shitty. They're both bad.
Next one to go down, I would say, is Hololive.
Maybe, but I think Yago is really looking at this and taking advantage of the situation to clean house.
And everyone would always say that, and it's like, what's happening?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, like I know, like other companies would own their IP or like make you sell it or whatever, but like that was Shoujo's whole thing, is that they were different.
Yep. Yeah, they're just as phony as everybody else. Let's keep going here.
I When we left, they of course discredited us to the staff and the other members.
Hey, chat. Who told y'all that before everybody? Who said that shit before everybody else? And did you see how many people called me a liar? Did you see how many people said, "What does Tectone know?" So many, it's ridiculous. Insane how hard it is to just merely tell these people the truth. It's insane.
As soon as we left, like they
literally, the girls left, they slapped them on NDAs, and then everybody on staff shit talked them all to Mouse and Company, the existing members of Vishojo, and labeled them all as greedy fucks. Disgusting. Jesus, guys. When I get to break my NDA, oh my God. Oh man, pandemonium's gonna break loose. Yep.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, it's so bad, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's so bad, it's insane.
They painted us as troublemakers and problem people. That we were greedy and asked for more money. There's like so many horrible things.
It is not an NDA from OTK. I want to make this very clear. I had a great experience with OTK. I did. Right? I had a great experience with OTK. The only bad part of OTK was Miz. That's it. And he's not OTK. That's it. I had a great experience with OTK. I said this many times. Legit. The only issue I had was Mizkif. That's it. Straight up. That is it. Cool. Let's keep going.
Just to avoid the truth that they were stealing from us. And they intentionally announced Ray and I leaving at the same time, so it looked like we left together, even though Nyan wanted to leave at the same time. And they refused to let her leave at the same time because they wanted it to look better for them. Like, it's not like we were all jumping ship at the same time. They literally held her hostage so it would look better for them. And they advised the talents.
Lol, fake crying by a man pretending to be a girl. Guys, I've literally met Silvervale. It's obviously a fucking woman. Jesus Christ, bro. Get a grip. Jesus, get a fucking grip. All right, keep going here.
I later found out that they'd been slandering me to musicians and artists that I had worked with through Vishojo. And slandering me to companies and ruined potential business partnerships that I was really, really excited for some of my like dream collabs. That
I think Silvervale has been through the worst of it out of any girl, and there's still stuff that she's not going to be able to talk about. But I will say there is still worse things that she can't talk about yet. If you thought all of this was bad, I promise you there is still one thing that I think a lot of the girls are going to talk about that none of them can talk about yet. But it is worse. There's still one big thing. There's one big thing.
We're gonna happen. And like staff was known to ask for turf everywhere. Like they even run some of the really large B2.
Yeah, I hope that's not what I think it is, because otherwise, with the one thing that they still all can't talk about.
Oh, which is
even with NDAs.
What is it?
If they were sexually abused, or if or
if you can't say the whole thing, type it to me.
no, it like sexually abused, or basically their all their personal everything leaked and held hostage. If it's the sexual stuff, then you bet your butt the FBI is involved in that, which is probably why they can't talk about it right now. if with whatever current lawsuits are being flown around and such, which makes the whole thing. Which I mean, the FBI would have already been involved because of all the fraud and abuse that is obvious. Um. I hope the IRS and the FBI and whatever other jurisdictions need to be involved rake everyone involved that has colluded together under the name of Shoujo. I hope they rake them over and open fire, because this, I mean, this is bad. Like,
Yeah.
like
YouTuber clip
in all
channels.
sense of legality, this is
Like they
horrible.
were everywhere.
Yeah.
And they had their hand in every pie.
Yep. The problem that's really scary right now is with the company dissolving and them having no money, this company is going to look for any misstep they make to sue the fuck out of these girls, right? So they have to be very, very, very careful. It's a very scary time right now. Once again, do not pressure any of these girls to talk about anything that they don't want to talk about. Don't even bring it up.
Yeah, because
Just go
if
to them
they
and be supportive and act like everything's fine. When they talk, that's when they should talk. Okay, just be patient and wait. Okay, another message I'm so
yeah, because if they start talking about sexual harassment and
there's not much more I can say, but I sent a pretty aggressive NDA
basically
with the New Jersey
blackmailing
Law
them,
Too. We already read this the other day. It's fucking
blackmailing them and
Chat Willy
such
says,
for
Chat Willy,
personal
"We would be willing to
information,
do so and cover all expenses, brother. You've somehow been bleeding
and they start
11 million
speaking,
while
they can
claiming
hold
to be
them
the most
for
successful biggest VTuber roster in Western history. You figured you'd
slander
go away from its own.
and sue
Go
them.
to spew the bullshit so
That's
confidently.
crazy.
What a weird way to say. So basically, I've been sitting ducks while watching the ship sink. And instead of sitting down with the talents and explaining the situation and finding ways to fix the business model, we went about hiring more and bigger talents to rake in more profit to cover our incompetence. Oh, also, I had no idea what the 500K was supposed to be for. Never questioned it. Checked all the books. Oopsie lol. Fucking terrible. V Shoujo, you deserve all of the misfortune that is currently upon you, and may God have mercy on your soul. By the way, Gunrun lied about not knowing about it. Look at what he retweeted. Let's see here. Which I learned and said it was for a charitable initiative. Ironmouse just blew past my old Twitch subreddit, has another day to break Kai's record. I've seen some weird people flame her on Twitter the past couple weeks, but I hope she does also uptime sub-record. She's a great streamer, one of the best stories on Twitch, and also donating half the money raised to charity. Go Ironmouse. And Gunrun reposted it. Gunrun knew that he took the charity money. This is disgusting. Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, so he openly
there will be
he
more.
openly
The girls
openly
need y'all's support
admitted
right
to
now. So go follow their streams.
committing
Be supportive.
embezzlement.
Do not pressure them.
I
This
think
is going to get
only
worse.
because
Fuck all
I
these
think
people
he
at
knows he's
Shoujo.
gonna get away with it.
To get y'all to not see
Man,
the other
well,
atrocities that are happening.
I mean,
And
you know, an
only stop
attorney
the witch
can
hunt, because
read
they
the
want you to
statement that he
stop the trail
posted.
before it gets worse. It is
He
worse.
said, well,
It is worse.
no one's gonna get
It's
me
going to
now,
get
so
worse.
might as well admit it.
And they're trying to cover up for something. You all will find out about it very soon.
So
Disgusting.
yeah,
Don't support the girls. Don't say anything
I
else.
knew,
And I'll see you next time.
knew he
Bye,
had
guys.
some sort of plan if it ever got to this point. You could literally say it was just as planned, almost.
Yeah,
In the situation of, oh, if V Shoujo ever goes downhill or breaks or everyone leaves and everything on and all that all together, I'm gonna do one last brouhaha. I'm gonna get my last laugh and leave.
yeah, because he was just openly silent for the longest time ever, and then that statement. This is FUBAR, and then some.
What I'll say is,
Yeah.
This is bad.
Yeah.
Like,
Literally saying
claiming bankruptcy made everything just so much worse.
But yeah, again, they said, oh, there's nothing you can do about it, so I can just say everything. And yeah, you win some, you lose some, or at least in this case, one side had to pay for it, all of it, and yeah, they're not getting any of their money back.
Yep, nobody is.
Literally saying, "Go suck it."
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But once
Or another way to put it, you knew, like Gun Run like literally said in a way as you knew what you were going into. You just realized it way too late.
yeah, I mean, once the IRS gets its locks in, there's no escaping. I mean, just look at Al Capone. How they got Al Capone, because Al
Oh,
Capone was essentially untouchable until they got him on tax evasion and property taxes and such.
well,
Uh,
sure. On the bad side of things, I think maybe he has a plan for that. If the IRS eventually catch up to him.
yeah, it's just
Yeah, think about it. Surely Gunrunner will know that the IRS will eventually catch up to him, right?
yeah.
There is no way that he would think that, yeah, I'm safe now, kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know what him and everyone he was colluding with, or all
But
the people that were
anyway,
colluding with
What I'll
him, are
say is,
doing now.
yeah.
before I post anything, I want to give as much info as I can while still keeping myself safe. I don't want to be like, "Oh, I just won't say anything, blah blah blah," because I feel
Also,
like
I'm not
I've
gonna.
always been someone who tries to
I'm not
keep you
gonna.
guys informed, to keep
We're not
proper
gonna watch the
information.
whole
Like if I don't
thing
say anything, then a lot
because
of
I'm pretty sure that more than 50% of this is probably going to be the same thing.
We'll see.
misinfo is just what gets spread. And I think a lot of people could get hurt on all sides. On all sides could get hurt a lot worse or in ways they shouldn't. So I'm just trying to be a voice of reason there. I don't love, like, whenever someone else has drama, I don't like talking about it. I only talk about things that pertain to me, and I love not talking about stuff. But when it's something that could cause people issues, I flip, and I'm like, all right, I actually will talk a lot. So apologies, because I know my community is not used to me sitting there ruminating on stupid dramatic. Though I wouldn't consider this drama, which is why I'm talking about it, right? So just apologies. I
Yeah,
don't
this
know.
is not
I
drama.
hate
This is
circling
legal.
on things that are like that,
Yep.
like negative. We talk about like video games and I don't know, the Pennsylvania ice trade or whatever. But there's some things that if I'm highly concerned something is at a certain level, I can talk about a little more. There are things that if I see something already outed, I could talk a bit more. If I'm worried that something could be harmful and I want to clarify it, I could talk a bit more, etc. So, I'm just going over that. But yeah, I typed out my initial thoughts at the very least, and then I've sent those over to be looked at, and I'm gonna post them soon. Talk a little, I guess. Vast amount of this I just do not believe. I do not believe. I will also say this is the person who I would hear from friends every convention they went to. Oh yeah, he covered our dinner. It was so cool. We all had dinner and he covered the whole bill. Yeah, he sent me home in an Uber. He paid for Uber Black, etc., etc.
Well, that's just the real you in. All of that. The simple stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yep.
I know being too naive is like pretty much like a curse almost. But surely, like with someone like that being too nice to everyone from the start and onwards,
Raises flags.
yes. But let me put it this way, and it might be a little bit funny. If Yakuza has taught me anything, it's always generally a scam in some ways,
Yeah.
or somehow, like literally 80 or 90% of the time, it's a scam,
Yep.
and you can't just like in this day and age, or maybe ever, you can never trust anybody else.
Yeah.
What
You
are
had in the
gonna-
bed, Shay?
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
really
all right.
sleepy.
Oh, Stinky's
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to bed.
Our serious hour putting it to sleep.
A little bit.
Man,
True crime. Our true crime era hours.
Yeah.
you know what, Shay?
Hey! Ow! Rude. Ow!
Go to bed.
See, this is why he's stinky.
Yeah, you're Stinky. Yeah, we all know that.
Ow! Ow!
All
Stop
right,
it.
have a good night.
Good night.
Good night, Shay. Sleep well. See you when I see you next.
Bye.
Why? Anyway.
You know, I'm used to hearing these things. I'm used to hearing these things for a long time. This is someone who has other monetization sources and stuff outside of all this stuff. So I'm not saying that's where it went. I'm not even saying that. I'm saying this person has this money, whether it's that exact money or other money from other business ventures. This is a person who has been doing fine financially from what we've seen. And I think it's a lot easier for someone like that to stand up there and go, I take responsibility, when they, by all accounts that I've heard and seen, seem to be doing fine. You know, whether he ends up being financially affected by this or not, you know, there are a lot of people, not just him, there are a lot of people who have already made their money. If the company is closing this month, what that means is there are a lot of people who have been on and paid through this time. There's some who took pay cuts. There's some who didn't get paid here and there as well. But there are people who have been paid this whole time. There's some people who've been, you know, they stopped a couple months ago or whatever, but they were getting paid up until then. There are people who did a lot throughout their time there. There are people who did a lot of nothing throughout their time there. Also, no, guys, do not say stupid ass legal shit unless you are a lawyer advising me, because you are my lawyer. Okay, in chat. I want to make that clear. A lot of people spreading a lot of misinformation about NDAs and how they work. The majority of comments I see about it are completely incorrect. I just want to make mention of that, okay? But I googled it. At Grok, is this real? At Grok, how does this NDA work? Tweet from Gunrun. It's on the Vishojo account, but it's signed off as from Gunrun, so anything I say relating to it really is to him, not addressing the whole company. He wrote, here, I'll put it on the screen for you. I assume he wrote, probably PR, lawyer, whatever, assisting. He wrote, Vishojo's failed. I've mismanaged the company into the situation you're all witnessing. So today I'm sharing the difficult news that Vishojo's shutting down, and I take full responsibility for the decisions that led us to this point. I want to say, saying you take responsibility verbally is cool and all. It changes nothing about the situation. It changes absolutely nothing. Do I think it's nice to say this? Yes. Do I think the person who is ultimately responsible should say this? Yes. However, their words. That's it. He said,
Yeah,
I'm
their
doing
words.
everything I can to fundraise and right the ship these past few months, but despite my efforts, we are in a worse position, and those I care about are now paying the price. Yeah, I mean, the only stuff that's been visible to me this whole time to right the ship has been attempts at fundraising, and, you know, some staff leaving because they were like not really able to get paid anymore, or whatever the reasoning is. Those are the best efforts. That's it. Those are the best efforts. And that's pretty much, from what I know, from what I'm aware of, what his job has been the whole time is to just keep trying to find fundraising. I have not really seen many other efforts to make things profitable. There was like one other effort that was a good idea, but was executed very poorly and went not well. So even if the idea here and there was good, the execution made that impossible to work out. So therefore, the only thing that was really being done in a positive direction was fundraising from the perspective that I had. He continues, over the past few years, we raised around 11 million to pursue a bold. I want to say that was one time, that was an initial seed round investment. I asked questions about that, and that was just the seed round, and that was it. To pursue a bold, talent-first approach in VTubing, prioritizing creators and community over short-term profits to achieve long-term sustainability. I don't know why he's writing this. It just sounds like another advertisement for a company that's not going to exist. Mentioning the 11 million investment is fine. Talent-first approach, this has been disproven in many ways. I do think a lot of the staff attempted this genuinely. I think things in our contracts, some of it reflected that, you know, in relation to like us owning our IPs. I guess. Our funding went directly to our creators through generous splits.
I guess, she says.
Debut investments, infrastructure, concerts, events, and staffing, all designed to support them. Okay, generous splits, I cannot comment right now on exact splits or anything. I think that's a bad idea. I will say, is it better than what I've heard about from some other VTuber companies? Yes. However, I don't think we should ever in this industry compare how anything goes to other VTuber companies as if there's some magical different thing from regular talent agencies. A standard talent agency and talent management company in the Western sphere, usually the splits are a lot better and things are it's just that model. I think taking this company and comparing it to VTubing agencies is a really good way to make it look better. That's what I think about that. Debut investments, yeah, I mentioned that they covered a little bit of stuff for my debut. I already paid a lot of it myself before that time as well, and they covered some things by the time I decided I was joining. Infrastructure, what infrastructure? A lot of the stuff that I know I took advantage of was stuff that third parties had that maybe they were helping us out for free, or maybe some of them did get paid a little bit. I don't know. Concerts, yeah, there was one. It happened. I joined, so I wasn't part of it. I did sit in VC with everyone and watch it, which was cool. Any other concerts after that were not anything that this company paid for. That was the talents themselves, like Mouse's concert, Michi's concert, right? Their own individual ones. Those were their concerts. The funding did not go to those. It only went to the first one. It went to one concert, singular. Unless there's something I don't know, but as far as I know, I don't know. I'm pretty sure from what I've heard from members, they paid for those themselves. Events, what events do you guys remember? What events do you guys remember? At least in my time there, which was basically the past 2 years. Maid Cafe, maybe? Getting some standees and having us do some con walkarounds, maybe paying for, not Oscar walking us around, that was his own thing, but paying for, like, if we had the robot, maybe renting that or something. I don't know if we owned that or not. We might have owned one of those bots, maybe. Nikkei collab, no, that was a sponsorship. Nikkei paid us. The company's funding did not
Wait,
cover
Nikkei,
that.
the
They paid
gacha
us
game?
to do that.
Yes.
And staffing, this is true. One of my major concerns was the amount of money going towards staff. We had a lot of staff, and I thought that was cool and all, but I didn't think we could afford it. I also only knew a few staff members the entire time I was there. Within the...
With all this I'm hearing, there's so much shit. There's
Yeah.
so much shit that is unanswered, and this is only coming from Giga right now.
Yeah. Why do you think I'm tired? Why do you think I'm just like, I want to be done?
And
Like-
I feel so bad for Zentrea. Zentrea had no idea whatsoever.
Yeah,
And-
she
and
really
I-
didn't.
And I feel like Zentrea is like one of the smart people too. But then again, I could be wrong. I don't know.
Well, no, she is. Here's the thing. Zen is very smart. She is indeed very smart. But at the same time, she is idealistic. And with being idealistic comes being very naive, right? You can be very, very smart, right? But
Yeah.
still be naive, right?
I mean,
In some sense, just look at, say, Oppenheimer, right? Crazy smart guy. Invented the atom bomb and everything, right? The nuclear bomb. Had all the good intentions of having it end the war and everything.
right.
But everyone else wanted to basically take advantage of his work and all this stuff. He kind of had some dealings with the Communist Party, although some of it was debunked and such.
Right.
But he was, in all sorts and sense, an idealistic person. He wanted to see the best in the world and everything, which is the whole thing of being I am an ideologue and such, is, or not necessarily an ideologue, but being idealistic.
Yeah.
So even with someone as smart as him, still naive enough to think, oh, everyone won't take advantage of this, and they will see they'll see the rights and wrongs of this and treat it with respect. No, that's not the case. That's never the case. That is never the case, and that's where That's where you have to have a healthy dose of cynicism. But when you have a healthy dose of cynicism, everyone hates you.
Yep.
The last few months received an org chart that showed me who all the remaining staff at that time were and a list of what they did. And there were so many names on there that I didn't know. There were a lot of staff that were in and out before that too. So I just, most of the time there, had no real visibility on staff. I'll read out some parts of my written statement in a moment to go over some of that stuff. It said all designed to support them. I'm sorry, I just don't feel like 11 million
Which
worth
Giga
of
worked
support was really
as
given
staff.
to.
Giga technically was like she was a VTuber, but she signed on and worked technically as the shoujo staff.
Yeah.
She worked on a lot of behind the scenes stuff within meetings and getting a lot of stuff done, worked on, and everything behind the scenes.
Yeah.
The members that were there from the beginning. I feel like a lot of that went into things that didn't really provide for them in the end. We also wanted talent to own their IP. I mean, why are we even saying this? This is something that is standard for any talent agency in the Western sphere. The only time this doesn't happen, for the most part, in this industry and in content creation tends to be with some JP VTuber agencies, but this is a Western one, so this is not anything incredible to mention, which we knew was a unique creator first approach for an agency. Again, not unique for an agency, maybe for a VTuber agency when comparing to the other two big ones, and that's it. Despite all our efforts, the business failed to generate the revenue we needed to sustain that model, and eventually we ran out of money. Yeah, this is true. Their efforts were efforts in the wrong direction. I think they had some times where they were trying new things that maybe would make money. I pointed out multiple times how those weren't going to work. I didn't think they were going to work. I thought they were kind of...
You could say V Shoujo is trying to mid-max.
Yeah.
dead in the water, and they still spent money on them and worked on them, and I said, I don't see the point. And then they would like drop the ideas or realize they have to pivot or it wouldn't work out. And then I was like, okay, well, we already spent the money on it, right? Okay, and then additionally, I acknowledge that some of the money spent by the company was raised in connection with talent activity, which I later learned was intended for a charitable initiative. Look, I'm gonna need a receipt to know when this was found out or something to make me believe this. Is this possible? Maybe. I'm gonna need to see something to believe that. From what I know, if I had money of mine that in some way went into the company, they knew what it was for. This was a weird case, the charity money, because typically you send charity money straight to a service to get it to them first. This was in relation to Mouse's subathon, which means somehow she had to get money that went to her for subscriptions. It had to get over to the charity, and having, you know, like that go to them first. This was a weird case with how the payment worked, but it was said on stream what was going on. A lot of this was talked about and publicly known, right? And we talked about, oh yeah, half is gonna go to charity and all of this. The only way he could have maybe not known about anything is if he literally had his eyes closed, which I do think he did a lot of the time while doing his work, and I'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, I think he would have had to have his eyes closed and not be looking at the screen, genuinely. So at the time, we were working hard to raise additional investment capital to cover our costs. This is true, they were trying to raise investments because it seems to be the only strategy that they were able to really do here. And I firmly believed, based on the information available to us, that we would be able to do so and cover all expenses. I don't know why he firmly believed that. Again, I'm no stranger to startups. Most startups fail. Most startups, after their first investment, do not get invested in again, and they end up closing. This is standard. They usually fail. To make it past that and get a second investment is on the more rare side. And you have to be able to prove to investors reasons why they should believe that you are going to soon, or with additional investment, become over time profitable. I knew some about what I had been told, and I was able to see that we were not on that track and had no solid plans to become, you know, properly on this track. So I was like, there's no way an investor would look at this and think this is good. So either this is a lie or he actually was that incompetent. Pick one. I don't know. We were unsuccessful in our fundraising efforts. I made the decision to pursue funding, and I own its consequences. He was not the only person in those discussions. I know people that I spoke directly to in meetings who talked about they would use the word, we are trying to do this, we are pursuing funding. Other individuals who also were talking to people about these things. I do think it is ultimately on him as the CEO. Absolutely, yes. But this is he's not the only person who did this stuff. So I'm deeply sorry to all the talent, staff, friends, and community members who believed in our brand. You did not deserve this. I will say that I think the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I am not absolving him of anything here. I do think he started out like actually thinking he could do this. Genuinely. I will say that much. That being said, I mean, what are we saying here? Like pleading face emoji, I'm so sorry. Like, I talked about this yesterday. I had meetings with leadership, and this does not mean only him, with leadership, talking about my thoughts on how things were going and how it was not going to go well, and I was concerned. At that time, if it was known that things were going so poorly, someone could have made the call to cut the losses, to say, we need to cut a lot of staff right now. That's our big spend is staff salaries. We need to cut certain projects. These are big spends as well. Let's liquidate some things that we have, whatever. See what our money situation is. Pay money out to talent so that we're getting close to or not as much in debt. Maybe pay the charity first. Talk to us about it and go, look, we owe this money to you guys, but we also owe to charity. Here's what we want to do. We could have just talked about it. It still would have been bad. It would have been less bad. And a conscious decision was made to not do that. So, Anyway, I'm going to read my reply now. This is what I replied to the tweet. I said, Bishojo didn't just fail. Many staff and leadership failed Bishojo. I'm not going to name any specific people for the record. I don't want to point fingers at anyone right now. There's more information that's needed. And even then, I don't know if I want to be the one worrying about that stuff. But I just want that to be known. That this is not just one person. It's impossible for this to have been one person and no one else knew, right? Do I think some of those other people maybe had the power to do anything? Probably not for a lot of them. That's really case by case for each person. But, I think we shouldn't pretend that he's the only person in this situation, right? I said, instead of using talent money on operating costs, the company should have shut down or at least informed us, but you instead used us as cash cows to keep things afloat while keeping us in the dark. Again, this is a conscious decision. You chose to keep the expensive sinking ship going and felt it was fine to keep paying out to staff you were friends with instead of putting talent first. You made it abundantly clear that you're okay with not prioritizing the debts owed to the talent who made this company what it is. Again, this was a conscious decision. While saying you will take full responsibility is the correct thing to do, I also think there are many others in the company without the same positive intent as conveyed in this message. Again, these were all conscious decisions. In every leadership or staff call I had, you sat back and didn't say much while you had other staff members that were clearly the ones doing the actual work be the ones to speak. Again, I sat in meetings with people, or some of them weren't just me, were other members as well, talk about a lot of these things. Maybe not to the extent that we know now, obviously. A lot of this is newer information, some of the recent stuff. But knowing that there were issues, bringing up concerns, there were other people answering our questions. There were other people who were sitting there talking to us about our concerns, so they knew what our concerns were. Whether or not they actually could help is a different story. Some of them just did not have the ability to do anything about that. But, we did not only talk to him. There was one meeting where we did just talk straight to him. And I spoke to my manager and some other people in the company very clearly about all the things that were told to him in that meeting. So more information from my end was shared. And then I said, we know which leadership worked on our contracts. He did not sit there and write them, for the record. We know which leadership constantly sat in VC playing games with staff instead of working on time-sensitive tasks for events and debuts. This is something that I brought up multiple times. There were staff members that I couldn't get a hold of at times, or were supposed to be working on a thing and I knew it was taking time. And I mentioned something to someone else who was also NDA'd, and they said, a couple of names have been in VCs playing nothing but certain games all day. And I said, can you show me proof? And they would check in throughout the day and send regular screenshots going, yep, still in VC, yep, still screen sharing this game. Do I think people should be allowed to play games? Sometimes, absolutely. But when people are waiting on some, come on. When you're getting paid as a full-time employee, when funding, we're owed money. Funds are getting paid for you to sit there and do that. I brought this up and said, this is happening. You have full-time employees doing this. And this is without me knowing that the company was so in debt. I was just bringing it up because I was like, yo, you got workers doing this. And one of my complaints at the time was just, I don't feel like I get this many full-time employees worth of support for all of us. And I'm noticing this as well. This is a problem. It was me pointing that out. This wasn't even about the money at the time, you know? And I was aware of this, and I made people aware of this many, many, many months ago. Continuing, well, there's 2 more lines. It said, we know which staff consistently leaked information about talent. Yeah, several of us had our trust breached so many times. A lot of my projects were getting talked about at events because I would have a friend message me and go, oh my God, I was at this event and I heard about this thing. That's so cool. And I would go, what do you mean you heard about that thing? This is only something that I discussed in my Discord and with my own staff. And they'd be like, yeah, I saw a picture of like this merch item you got coming up. And I'm like, what the are you talking about? And then they would tell me certain staff members' names, or sometimes they'd just say a staff member showed me this thing, told me about that thing, which is terrible. There were times that some people did things physically and didn't want it to be known, that they were like going to this one dinner or something like that. That was talked about to random people that shouldn't have known. Stuff like that. Just completely breaching privacy to a horrific degree. Again, we're VTubers, right? We don't talk about this stuff. We trust our company to protect this stuff. There was one person who I know doesn't show themselves anywhere, but went to a dinner, and I heard a staff member say to a bunch of people who are not NDA'd, who are not part of this, who shouldn't have known, oh yeah, I saw so-and-so here. Why? I brought this up. Again, I want this to be known. I brought these things up when they happened, typically. I don't know who even heard about it. I don't know how far up the chain this was known. I'm pretty sure they knew, though. I brought this up, and I remember when I first joined, one person who was leaking a lot of proprietary information was taken care of, and I was glad about that, but others were not. And I wasn't even, the thing is, some of these people I liked, like on a personal level, I liked. I didn't even want them to like have anything crazy done. I was just like, can you talk to them and make sure this doesn't happen? And nothing changed. I just kept hearing this stuff all the time. And okay, last line of my reply, I said, as the CEO, you are the final check, yes, but this means that all checks before you failed to. That's it, right? And again, I wouldn't say that all staff are bad or anything like that. There are plenty of people who could not have done anything about some of this stuff, who wouldn't have known about some of this stuff, right? But there's more than one person complicit, right? I just didn't like that this statement made it look like it was one, right? And the thing is, there will be some situations where I won't be able to.
Yeah, but even if they
because
didn't know, they're
at
still
this time, do
complicit
not
in the
know
actions.
exactly who
That's
did
the
what
whole
exactly
thing,
who said
though.
what thing, but I do know what happened and a lot of results of this. And I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like there were times where I learned more about VShojo from un-NDA'd acquaintances of mine than I did from staff themselves, because they would just like blab to everyone at times, straight up.
Yep.
Yeah, here's the thing about Giga. She has the resources and power to essentially run everyone in VShojo under the ground. And get the IRS directly onto them. She has that power. She could do it. She works behind the scenes. There's a lot of stuff she's not talking about.
Yep. Anyway.
Yeah. It's just I'll say it again. I want the IRS and FBI and whoever else of jurisdiction needs to be involved to rake everyone over an open fire.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
because even if there was stuff that didn't necessarily didn't have any power to do various things, they were still complicit in any and all actions. However, now that the company is dissolved and all, we will never know that unless through the trials investigation of Gunrun and whoever else, there is probable cause to go after X, Y, and Z people and investigate them and hold them in trial.
Hmm.
So yeah, there's gonna, until a trial happens, if a trial happens, there's gonna be a lot of stuff that will go unanswered and we will never know. And that's the real frustrating part right there. And the comment that really got me from Tectone is that all of them are going to Tectone instead of immediately going to their lawyers to file
Why?
lawsuits.
Why? That's my question.
Yeah, which makes me think now more than before, we're not going to get any trials because no one is going to seek the proper legal action
Why?
against
Again, why not just go to your your lawyer or anything like that?
I don't know. I don't.
Out of the damn way!
Tectone is not like Tectone. Yeah, he's good enough, but he's not a professional
Yeah.
I guess speaker.
He's not a professional lawyer. He's not a professional speaker or lawyer. Just like me. I know a lot of stuff. I don't know everything. Do I know a lot about law and how it works within America? Yes. Am I someone to go to with authority on
No.
business of law and conducting business and such? No.
Got it.
I think there's some serious dirt held over their heads
Maybe
that if they try to do anything, say various things, that they will then use that dirt as blackmail and sue them.
It's me, Arthur. Ain't even gonna ask.
That's the only that is the only true explanation. But even then, that's when you get the FBI involved. That is when you get the FBI involved.
The moons of Jupiter, dear boy. The moons.
That blackmail and all that kind of stuff falls under the jurisdiction of the FBI, especially on a corporate level.
Children's birthday party.
Corporate level blackmail falls under the jurisdiction of the FBI. They need to be getting their lawyers, ringing up the FBI,
Scots.
giving them all their evidence. It doesn't matter if they'll get sued, because the FBI will have their back. Will it hurt at first? Yes. Is it scary about getting sued and having dirt over your head and being blackmailed and everything? Yes. But what you need to do is get your lawyers, contact the FBI, hand over any and all evidence against V Shoujo and the members of staff that were involved, like gun run and such. Hand over any and all evidence that is available to you currently.
Evening, Arthur.
Hand it over to the FBI.
Okay, Mary
Let the
Beth?
FBI handle it.
Yes.
Let them do
Glad
what
you
they
and
do
Sasha
best and what they're
sometime.
supposed to do for their job.
Let's just hope that gang
And
stays away
put
from her now.
everyone involved behind
Lady.
bars.
Hey.
I will not put up with much more of your
That is what
tone,
needs to
miss.
happen.
Did anybody lose a pile of turd? I think I found one.
Now, unless they have actual ties somehow, for whatever reason, with like mafia or yakuza or anything, that would lead to an actual seriously dangerous situation of where some actual physical harm could come to
How are you doing?
various people.
Considering.
Even then,
Good to
like
hear.
that is even then, seek the FBI. Please get your lawyer. Seek the FBI. Because
He's
that
still here.
is really serious.
Evening.
If
Behaving yourself?
that really
Of
is the
course.
case, if there's corporate level of blackmail
How's it going?
of
Good.
various individuals, that is really, 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 really serious.
Yeah.
And you will see if you do that
Okay, long day. I'm going
and
to
the
turn
FBI
in.
does its job properly of what it's supposed to do, gets these fools, they'll be behind bars for at least 40 years. At least 40 years. Corporate crime is no joke, especially when it involves stuff like this. I'm tired. I'm tired, Uni. I'm tired. I'm
Yeah.
tired. I'm tired.
Welcome to life.
Like, all right, in some parts, like, okay, I have my healthy dose of cynicism, but I like being really super optimistic and seeing the good side of things. So I am still, in some sense, idealistic. I like being like that. I like seeing the good parts of life. I like seeing the happy parts of life. I like seeing the rainbow and sunshine and everything. I like the stuff that puts a smile on my face, and only looking at that and seeking that stuff out specifically. It was a mindset that got put on me after a very serious dark point of my own life, that I thought everything was, I got too much cynicism and was not good. And I started trying to look for the little things to make my life happier.
Yeah.
So I still have some bit of idealism in me and wanting to see the good and stuff and be as optimistic as I can be. But I do have my healthy dose of cynicism. But, oh man, like, I really would just wish something went right for once. Like, this
No.
is getting tired. This is getting tiresome. Like, the more that gets revealed, the more this continues, and just the fact that, yeah, they declared bankruptcy, so nobody's getting their money. No, none of there is no happy ending in this. There is absolutely zero happy ending in this. Like, true happy ending. Even with what I was saying, for them to go get their lawyers, go to the FBI, submit all the evidence and everything that they know and have of solid physical evidence, proof, and say all the people that were involved, that were colluding together, and such, even with them going behind bars, all of that would still not be a 100% happy ending. But there is no such thing as happy endings in life. It would be good if they were behind bars, but there's so many other things that would need to happen, honestly, for there to be any amount of real right justice here, which is probably not going to happen, especially since the company declared bankruptcy and dissolved, and everyone is going their separate ways and running.
Pretty much. Just how it is.
Oh, man. Tired of seeing this stuff happen.
And it won't be the last either, Dark.
Oh, yeah, no, it won't be the last. It definitely will not be the last.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is a real certified Yakuza moment, Yakuza game moment.
Arthur,
I'm going to
my
be honest with you.
boy.
This is a real certified Yakuza
Okay.
moment.
That's quite a gun you got there.
Sure.
Something about watching you clean it.
At this point, I would not be surprised if by them extending into Japan and getting a JP branch and everything, they have connections with the Yakuza.
Okay, Mr. Morgan.
At this point, at this very point, because of everything that is being said and such,
Thank you.
I would
for
not
all
be
your work.
surprised.
Of course, Mr. Morgan. I mean that. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey.
I was just like,
Mr. Morgan. Mr. Morgan.
I'm sorry,
I've been
but
wanting to ask you something.
I'm
I've been wanting
fed up.
to for
I'm
days.
really
Go
fed
play
up.
something.
Okay. What is it?
yeah. I'm gonna play something. You know what, Shizu, I'm booting up Once Human because I don't know. I want something. Even though horse game is a really good mood booster, I
ruined
want
my
something a
life
little
with
bit
it.
more
Then stop doing it.
playing a
Oh, no,
game.
sir. I can't do that. Really.
So
can't.
yeah. I'm until some big major thing happens and comes out. And honestly, if it came out tomorrow, I think I need a break from talking about all this. I just need a break. It's why like I don't even it
Yeah.
yeah, it's why I don't want like okay, so like I'm getting summoned to a grand jury to be to well I have to appear before the court to see if I get selected to be in a grand jury. I don't want to do that. Like as great and everything as the as a duty of an American citizen to perform a duty of being a juror, especially something with a grand jury, I don't want to do that. You know what grand juries are? Grand juries are where a bunch of jurors sit in a room and basically go over
Mr. Morgan.
evidence that and decide what evidence gets submitted to the court to be used in the actual trial. And now grand juries are held for selecting evidence of high crime, murder, stuff that's going on with V-Shoujo. That is high crime. All that stuff. I don't want to be part of that. I'm just like, I don't want to. Like,
you, Arthur?
do I find all this stuff interesting?
What you doing?
Sure.
Nothing.
But if I really
don't
wanted to,
believe you.
like, I would just watch
Just a
true
little
crime.
robbery, right? Nothing serious.
But I don't watch
Good.
true crime. Like,
What are you
you know,
robbing?
do I like being
A
a little
stage.
detective and everything and like figuring things out and saying, yeah,
There's a stage
that's
coming
a part.
through.
There's a little bit of me
According
that
to
is
the fella I
like
met,
really
he'll have a bunch
interested
of money
in it
aboard
and such
and
about,
no
you know, the whole
security
Sherlock
whatsoever
Holmes
as
and
it
all.
comes up
But
that river trail
it
between
gets
here
to a point.
and
I was
Cactus
just like,
Jackson.
I don't want to see a bunch of stuff like
That sounds
murder and
worth
all that, like, you know,
investigating.
but like, I just
You
like,
and,
oh my gosh.
Who?
I don't know.
You wanted
I
that
thought I'd
feel
do it on
where
my own.
we are playing something
It'll be
and working at a
unprotected.
common
It'll
goal.
be a huge take, but
Uh,
I should make out okay.
There ain't no such thing as
anyways,
unprotected.
I honestly wanted to
Now,
get back
what
to,
do you wanna
I
do?
want to get back to providing
I guess you.
Now?
premium fun
I don't need
content
no
and
hand-holding
entertainment
off
that
of-
is
Oh, come
enjoyable
on, kid.
and fun
But
and
if we
funny,
decide to do it once we've had
and
a look, I'm taking half the money.
less serious and less
All right.
depressing and
Let's get
everything,
going,
which kind of
It should
seems
be on
like
its
what my
way right
streams have
now.
been for the last little bit here. I've been complaining about Viking Mart, been depressed and such, giving depressing stuff and everything. Although there was one good
Seems
news
like
where I
only
was like, hey,
yesterday
you know,
you
like
and
I
me
got
was shooting our
recognized.
way in here to
I
rob
got
those
recognized for
fools.
all my efforts by
Yeah, I know.
by my managers.
I'll be glad
Yippee!
to leave this place
Um,
behind if I'm honest.
Hmm.
Got a bad
But it
feeling.
just seems like there's just
least
been
he's
like
got a
serious
roof.
stuff,
You
and then
got a
really
roof.
serious stuff with the
Plus,
V
I'm
Shoujo
outside
stuff.
with the juniors.
Oh, you ain't
And
even 20 years
I'm a
old.
little
Your
tired
time
of
will
it. I
come.
want some positivity back into my streams. Just happy-go-lucky. We're just gonna have fun, silly chaos, all that. I would like
Follow
that
me.
to be back
I
to
saw
be
a good
what
spot
being
for
what
an
my
ambush.
streams are, and
Who's the fella
just
told you about this?
like sure
It's a sound lead. I told
it's
you.
good to talk on
The
serious
one
stuff
got
every
the
once in a while.
game
I don't
by
shy
giving
away
you
from it
this
because I think
information.
it's important to be
You
able
mean,
to
did I
talk
give
about
him
that
money
stuff
or a gun?
and not always
You're just
be
gonna have to trust
happy-go-lucky
me on
and
this
be
one,
able to
officer.
have a backbone and
Okay,
everything to
okay,
talk
I
about
do.
serious stuff,
You
the
more
serious
improved
stuff that
yourself
actually
the
like
past
really
6
matters. I
months?
think that's important,
Don't
but at the
forget, I
same
was on the
time,
run for murder
again,
before falling
it
in
gets
with you
to a
boys.
point.
For 3 years. It ain't like I'm new to any of this.
It gets to a point.
Those fellers who killed your pa?